we're back and we are ready to start flooring. So we've got our flooring here. I think we've only really got enough for one unit though. So we're going to start over here, try to get this unit completely floored. And the goal is over the next few days, we'll be building the walls up here and do everything on this side while we wait for the flooring on the other side. We've got a yellow tongue flooring and that's going to be for most of the house. And then we've got wet area flooring over there. And that's going to be for where the bathrooms are. You can see we've got one set down there for one shower and one bathroom. We've got another bathroom over there. To start with though, we'll get set up with our yellow tongue and we're going to do a run with the yellow tongue going the entire way down. What I normally do for this, since they are 800 mil, I'll get you to do the same thing, but we'll measure it in a few points. We'll mark 900 mil just for a datum line and we'll flick that and then measure off it. Right. If we mark 800 mil, that 800 mil is going to be there on the bottom side, meaning that the yellow tongue is actually going to cover where it goes. So can you mark in 900? When you do it though, just make sure your posi is flush to that bottom plate. So if you can do it right at the end, if the posi is kicking in and out a little bit, obviously that 900 isn't going to be perfect. That was pretty good. This mark I'm doing in the middle is going to be to just double check that our line is straight when we flick it. This party wall, we've strung it, this party wall down here should be perfect, but I'm just going to go off at a few different points and it's just going to make sure everything is perfect and running in a straight line. Might do another mark here. And then I'll do one right at the end.
Have you got the coffee there, John?
I've got one on me.
Oh, you do? Yeah, all good. I'll walk it down to John.
Alright. So yeah, we'll go the what we'll do, can I get you to hold it here?
Yeah.
I'll walk it down.
Yeah, all good.
So you hold it on that mark. I just want to check it because we do have a bit of wind.
Yeah.
And it could foul if we try flip it the entire way.
Yeah.
You go down, then he'll pull his tight. Is that very tight? Let me pick this up. I'm pretty happy with that. We're like within a mil from that wall there. I'm just gonna put my finger down. You got that tight? I'm gonna flick your side first. No, you need to pull heaps tighter than that.
Yeah, I've got no chalk, it's chalk anyway.
That's right, we'll re-flick it. It just needs to be heaps tighter. That's moving too much in the wind. Sweet as, boys, thank you. That's flicked through quite well. So we're just gonna start straight away now with our first sheet of flooring. And as I said, we're just gonna measure off that line, off 100 mil. And that way we know this whole strip of flooring is gonna be completely straight.
Reel it in.
It's also reassuring too to know that our party walls remained completely straight after putting all the posies up too. We've actually got one, not really an issue, but one slight mistake on this unit, which we didn't do in the other unit. I spoke about this while marking out the posies, but what we should have done is started this first posi 405 mil in. If we line up the posies, we can see this unit is actually 45 mil that way. And that means when we set our flooring sheets, which are 3.6, they would land half on a posi. So right now, if I measure 3.6, it's somehow corrected itself. It's actually not too bad, but we're still probably going to cut the first sheet down so it directly lands half on the posi. We've got the tracks ready to go. Do you want to get set up, ready to cut? I'll set up the sausage gun with some glue. I'll re-measure that. So we'll make the first one 3185, please. Cut that off a bit.
This is for the heads that love the mix. People will they covered in shit. That is in the box. Built top goods, yeah, up in this bitch. We are fucking leaders.
Where's that line? Oh, it's right there. I think this is the one I mentioned to.
God knows.
Rob, do you want some earmuffs?
Nah, it's right. That's always what it's for.
I was
We've been cutting with it.
composite decking.
Oh.
I'll get you some earmuffs up. Otherwise,
It's alright, no, it's alright. I like when I wear earmuffs because I go home and I go deaf and I can't hear my family.
can't hear your family. Alright, can you try to slide it across to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I went a bit too far.
Maybe like another 2.
Alright. So what I'm going to do, we'll get it roughly good. Thanks, bro. Let's turn this on. Oh no, she's almost dead. So what I'm going to do from here
We'll jump on the other side.
is measure 100 mil, which is right there. Oh, hang on, just try not to move that. I'm going to tack one nail in this corner and check the other side. It's 100 mil there. Cool. I'm just going to shoot the edges off. What we do though is we won't shoot the sheet off completely, just in case when we do the next sheet, if these two aren't completely straight, we can always dash them across. Yeah, we'll go to the next one now.
Yeah, but no screws or anything, yeah?
We are going to screw them off. We're going to wait until these boys are done with the handrail. Oh, actually, hang on. I didn't glue this up completely. I had to stop. You hold that.
Yeah, I got balance.
Thank you.
I might need to borrow this for 1 sec.
Yep.
Shit, bro.
And come down. Slide it hard to you. Sweet as. You just keep it hard in there where it needs to be. Got 100 mil there.
Dude, that's with the track saw and the cuts so out.
Yeah, how does that happen with the track saw, mate? Is the track moving?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe it's because I use the blade for the composite decking. It could be slightly warped.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know. It could bouncing around. Make sure that's pretty good though. Attack this side, and it looks like we should be back to the full sheets. I'm just going to confirm it though. Oh. No, I don't know what's going on here. 3.525.
What the fuck is alarm going on?
While you cut that, I'm going to start working out where these bathrooms have to go. So we have an 1800 ensuite here, which is going to be butting into that wall, which goes... Yeah, okay, so this one finishes around here on this truss, or this posi, sorry. So the wall's going to go here. That means our flooring is going to run through to this posi, and we're going to have to get a bit of 90-45 and screw it to the side of this posi here to pick up the floor coming through this way. So 1800, what I'm more so worried about now is I want to work out how far it goes coming back down this way. 3.7 coming back in. 3.7 hooking over makes it 3.790. So that should be the wall going through there. That's our bathroom in here. So when we do our second run of yellow tongue is going to stop on that truss and then get checked out to go halfway through that wall through there. I do have a texter. Oh yeah. I'm just going to do a rough mark there. Cool. We'll keep laying these sheets down. We'll get that first run done the entire way, and then we can start playing around with these.
Yeah, sounds really good.
Sweet. All right, so that's that first run done. Woo. It's gonna be the thumbnail for the YouTube video. Let me get down low for that.
Wait, can you cut to in the YouTube video I was catwalking?
You want to do a cat? Oh, you can do a catwalk.
Like Ben Stiller, but he does the catwalk.
Cool. All right, so we'll start the second run. What we worked out before is that our yellow tongue is going to finish on this posi here, and once it gets to this posi, there's our other mark. Once it gets to this posi here, we're going to start ripping it along here and leave that for the wet area. Oh, I left the glue all the way down here. Do you have that first sheet cut?
Yeah.
Cool. Let me just glue her up. All right. Just do that. Is this it? Yeah. How do you prefer putting flooring sheets down? Will you hammer or foot? We'll go hammer. We'll use a hammer.
I'll change up every second one actually.
I'll go this side. So since the full protection's lanting over, we've got to go down and now slide her across. Hang on, I'm going to move this across. Happy there? Hook her on and pull her in. Nice.
Yeah, we get it. Oh, mate, we get it hard too, just without even a sledge.
Nice. All right, it's gone on really well. For now, oh yeah, no, you can shoot that one completely off. Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to take it then.
So you can go 3165. That will help out really well. So you grab that side. So the reason we don't completely nail off this first row of sheet is because we want to slide this one in, and this one is going to be straight, and we're going to be able to see if the first two sheets kick at all. They shouldn't. It should work out pretty well, but if they not good.
Nah, it's got the strap thing. Yeah, I can't get it in. See that? The straps on it.
Oh, it's been dented. Yeah. Is that clear? I'm going to slide this over.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit the sheet in with the sledgy. Whenever we do that, we always want to start away from the joint and work our way to it.
Correct.
And that pulls. Oh, don't shoot it until it's all in. And this is also going to pull the butt joint in and make sure it's all nice and tight. So as we can see, we've hit that in. We're looking pretty straight. I'm going to give it one more tap. But you can see the. Do you? Yeah. We'll go there. That's pretty good. So you can shoot that off. What we want to make sure we do for the first sheet though is at least get one nail marking exactly where the posies are. They should line up with the little crosses we got on the sheets, but in case we got posies like this one here, which isn't at a 450 center, we want to make sure we mark it with a nail. If we put these sheets in and it wasn't hard to the entire way, that's when I get that block there and I just start whacking it to try and move these first sheets and make sure it's square. For now though, I reckon what we do is we just stay over here and we'll floor this whole front room. Because this is going to be wet area from here on. So we'll just start a full sheet from half on here. Wait, do we have an off cut? No, we'll start a full sheet from here then. Can you cut me a 3.2 please? You might be seeing over here too, we're going to run into a few little hurdles. But we've got these bolts sticking up through the steel. These are welded on connected to the steel. I've never dealt with it before. But I think it's going to be a bit of an issue where we have to check out the flooring around these bolts, and I think we should have enough clearance to grind them off, and hopefully our upper wall plate can just sit above it. We're going to have to play around with this a bit when we get to it though. It's something a bit unusual. We'll see how we go with it. Alright, so the bathroom's finishing in line here, so we're going to extend the wet area sheets from there through to this posi here. So do you want to mark, Oscar? Come across and mark 2295 on your sheet.
On my sheet, yeah.
Yeah, 2295. And you're going to be leaving on from the groove 445. Can I get a piece at 1650, please? Yeah, 9045. I just stood two up here. One at 1650 and we'll do one at 1100. All right, so this is going to be where the upper wall sits through that. And how does that height work out? Because that flooring's going to almost butt into it. So this is going to be the line where our wall plate goes. So I think what we will have to do is flick it through and maybe cut off 10 mil of that. And
we had to check out every
I'm hoping we can grind them off. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about this today. I think we'll leave it at that. I just want to get as much of the flooring done as possible today, and I'll work out a plan for this later. Alright, so this bit of timber here is going to be to pick up the wall that goes on the side of the shower. So I'm just going to try to screw this in. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this.
What's that?
Alright, so this should be 900 by 18. We've got 990, so they made it 90 mil wider for us to pack out. So 990 by 1810. We want it to be 1810. I like the extra 10 mil. I'd rather it be bigger and we pack it out than it be too small. So if we are, 990, I'm going to cut another bit of 9045 through here, and then that shower is going to be the right size. Can I get one at 1810? Oh, are you switching up blade? Yeah. Is that one good to go? Thanks. Alright, 16. I'll jump down and cut another one. Who wants to cut yellow tongue? Who wants to cut the wet area? Alright, Oscar, can I just get you to do that second run through here?
Yep.
Start going through.
Yep.
I'm going to mark out this bathroom right now while you do that.
Okay.
2875 from the outside. So the bathroom is 2875. Add 90 for that external wall. And we're looking 65 to 55. Looking at our wall running through there. So we want yellow tongue sheets to finish here. While I mark this out, just want to do that little sheet there with one of the offcuts. Thanks. It's going to be a bit oddly shaped when we do the wet area flooring.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know what's going on.
Yep.
This green line through here is where the bathroom runs to.
Yep.
So they're going to be wet area flooring sheets from that green line back that way.
Yep.
When it gets to the shower here, the shower sticks out. I don't have a measurement for it, but it's roughly like 200 mil that way. So I'll mark out the shower, but that's going to be yellow tongue running through there and then kicking back across there.
Yep.
And then I'll mark it out in a second, but then over here, we've got the bathroom and then we've got another toilet here. So the wet area sheets are going to kick back in this way, out that way and across that way.
Okay.
So it's going to be a bit of an odd staircase.
That's weird.
I'll mark out this side first, so what we might do is just floor all that there,
okay,
and then we can make our way across.
Yep.
I might actually mark it over here. Right, so this posi lands exactly where the upstairs wall is going to be. Our bathroom from that posi there is going to be 1950, which means the bathroom finishes 1950 to there, and then from this point we've got the water closet. And the water closet is 950 wide. So these marks don't have to be perfect right now. So 950 finishes there, which means the wall runs from there to there. So as long as our wet area flooring finishes half in that posi, oh there you go, it will work out perfectly. And that water closet comes in, should be here somewhere, 1800. 1890, that's the inside of the wall for the water closet, and she's going to finish there. So for the water closet, this line here is going to be where our wet area sheets finish. So they're going to flow through this line here, go out to that green line and flow across there. Cool, alright, let's get them in. Alright, so we've floored what we could for now. We're about to jump up. I'm going to do the flick out cut-in and get a few walls up today. For that though, we've got to start cutting these studs. We've got about 6 stacks of studs here. And I'm just going to quickly set up a bench. We'll probably use this LVL laying down here. I'm just going to set up a bench against this wall here. I think we'll clear out this garage and get someone cutting studs all day. Cut those studs and we'll get all the studs stacked in here. Does mean though, when we're framing walls, we're going to have to pass up all the studs. It's going to take a bit of time, but we don't really have any other choice. I'm just going to have these outrights coming out like this. I've cut these ones and they're just going to go like that to brace it, to hold the weight. Yeah, it's probably a little bit too high, but mine still's not going to be up there. Wait, you're probably right. It's way too high. Alright, so that's cut at 2563. That's perfect. So I'm going to lock the blade in place, keep that stud there, and I'm going to make a stop at the end of the stud. Just going to put this block here to stop this beam rolling over and for the stud to get out of plumb. Yeah. Should be set up. What we'll do is after every 10 studs, we'll always get the tape out, just double check it in case it does move. But that's a nice little setup. It is a bit too high. I think Oscar's just going to make a quick little step just to make it a little bit more comfortable because there is almost a full day worth of cutting studs here. So we might even try to get a couple people on them and just get them done as soon as possible. Do you mind giving me a hand flicking?
Sure.
I'm not going to go over the flick out too much up here. It's going to be very straightforward. So this flooring is completely straight. We measured up from the lower wall. So what we're going to do is just come in 90mm from all the points, flick a line straight through, and we know that line's going to be straight, and we'll just square off that and follow the upstairs walls. So I'm just going to do a few points off it anyway, coming in 90mm. We know it's dead straight. These points are more so there so that we can see if the chalk line remains straight when we flick it. While we're flicking this, John's going to run down with a screw gun. We're going to be screwing down all the flooring, and you might hear the miter saw going off too. Oscar's going to run around, cut all the studs in, and then we should be able to start getting some plates cut in and getting some walls up later today. Alright, so the boys have started to cut in plates and especially focus on building that party wall to start with. Our goal now is to build the party wall, pass up all the Hebel, and then get that Hebel wall built straight away. For now though, I'm obviously tackling the bit of steel that had the threaded rods sticking up on top of it. The plan is I'm going to cut the threaded rods down so they're less than 45mm. We're going to do solid blocks between all of the bolts, and then I'm going to build a wall on top of it. So the reason we're changing our goal is we originally were going to frame all the walls in one unit while we waited for more flooring to come. The flooring actually came really quickly though, so while it's here, I think we're going to jump back to doing the flooring, try to get all the flooring done in both units, and then we can complete that stage of a job, and then jump back onto the wall framing. We've also been told that we're going to get an extra set of hands tomorrow, and we want to utilise that to try to get all the Hebel sheets up and build that Hebel wall. So today we stopped the pre-cut, we stopped screwing down the flooring, and I'm going to get two guys onto the party wall to try to build the party wall in one unit, and I'm going to jump over to the other unit and start doing the flooring. Now I did kind of skip over cutting in the plates, marking out the studs and building the walls. The reason for that is we went into extensive detail about wall framing for the downstairs walls. Throughout the series we're still going to build a few more walls, we're going to do a lot more wall framing upstairs here, but if you are interested and want to learn a bit more about the flick out or cutting in the walls, I'd recommend watching some of the earlier episodes from the series. So we have just finished off the party wall, and you can probably tell it is also a new day today, and it is a day that we want to build this Hebel wall. It's also going to be the hottest day we've had of the year so far. It's going to be 39 degrees today, and it's not going to be fun passing up the Hebel sheets and getting the wall built. Before we pass up the Hebel panels, I do want to go through and secure this wall off and get it plumb. I'm going to do a plumb brace either end of the wall, and since it is a long continuous party wall, I am going to get a string line and we're going to string the top of it, making sure it is dead straight. I want to get a fair few temp braces coming down off this wall, because when we do stand up the Hebel panels, there will be a fair bit of weight pulling on it. With all the temp braces done, I also want to lock this wall off completely by going through, doing all the cross braces, and doing the top plates and all the straps over the wall too. The reason we want to make sure we get all these straps done now is we haven't pre-installed a lot of them on the ground because we are using the spikies, and once the Hebel wall goes up, the Hebel panels are actually going to stick up past the top of this wall, meaning that we can't access the back of the wall to nail off all of these straps. Alright, so we're about to start passing up the Hebel panels. Before we do that, Basso's just going through right now, screwing on the L brackets that are going to hold the Hebel panels to the framed wall. While he's doing that, I'm going to jump downstairs and start cutting up this fire seal. So I'm going to cut the fire seal up into strips, and this sits in between our Hebel panels on the vertical joints. So I'm going to go through, sit it on top of all the panels we've already installed, and then when we drop our new panels on, they're going to sit down on top of this fire seal, and the weight of the Hebel panel on top of it should squish the fire seal down, stopping any gaps in between the panels at all. We're finally ready for the part that I've been dreading the most, passing up the Hebel panels. At this point it's the middle of the day, the sun is out in full force, but to be honest it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah, it was pretty hot, the panels are quite heavy. The worst part has definitely been covered in sunscreen and having the dust from the Hebel drop down all over you and getting stick to your arms. We actually ended up passing up all of these Hebel panels, and since we're working so close to the beach, we've ran down at Smoko, jumped in, washed off, and came back after lunch to start building the Hebel wall. Our build in the Hebel wall is exactly the same as what we did downstairs. For the back section, we're just going to lift the Hebel panels up and slide them down until they sit on the lower panels, but everything else is exactly the same. We're doing 10 panels, someone's behind the wall, screwing the L brackets into the panels to hold them as we go. We've got the Hebel adhesive that we're chucking in between every single panel, making sure there's no gaps at all, keeping the building soundproof and then also fireproof. And building this Hebel wall is another thing that I filmed a bit of earlier on in the series. It's almost the same process, so I'm not going to cover everything we're doing again, but I can tell you this time we built it almost twice as quick. Half of that may have been because it was so hot and we knew once this wall was done we could go home, but I think once we just figured out what we're doing, we just got into a bit of a routine, a bit of a system, and just threw this wall up quite quickly. Alright, so it's going to be another 30 plus degree day today. It's already 30 degrees and we're done for the day. We just came in on a Saturday. You can see we flicked out the unit and just cut in a few plates. Plan wasn't to do too much at all. We just wanted to do a few little things like that so that when we come in Monday, we're ready to go. We'll get some guys finishing the pre-cut, finishing cutting the plates, marking out all the walls, and then hopefully within an hour, maybe 2 hours max, we can start getting the walls up here. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Probably a bit of a shorter episode this time, and we'll be straight back into it next episode while we frame some upper walls.